Good morning, everyone. I'm Teacher Meryl, and I'm really excited to be sharing this video with you. It's different to not be coming to school, but I'm excited that I get to make videos and that you get to watch them in your home and we still get to learn about things together. So, in our classroom, when we come to school, every morning when we start our circle, we start with our good morning song. And I thought that we would start by singing that today. And if you know the words, you can sing along at home. And usually we do a little rhythm with our hands. And sometimes we cross our hands on our lap. And sometimes we put them on our shoulders. So you can join me as we sing. Ready? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright shining faces, and this is the way we start our new day. Good morning, everyone. I know some of you might be noticing that I'm wearing something around my neck, and if you are in my classroom, you know that this is a love light necklace. And I made these in the classroom for children to put on when they're feeling like their love light is shining. And I feel like my love light is shining today because even though I don't get to be with you guys in person, I get to share this special video with you. So I thought that we could all make our love light shine a little bit, all feel that love inside of us coming out by doing just a little love light meditation. So you can start by sitting comfortably. I'm crossing my legs. If that feels comfortable to you, you can do that. Put my hands on my lap. And start taking some deep breaths. I like to close my eyes when I do this meditation. You can close your eyes or you can look at a little spot on the floor. Take a big breath in and let it out. And as you pay attention to your breath, I want you to think about the love inside of you, the love that you have for your family and for your friends, maybe for your pets or special stuffed animal in your house. And I want you to let that feeling of love just fill up inside of you. And imagine that your love light is shining so brightly that it's filling up the room around you. And maybe if you concentrate, you can fill your whole house with love light energy. Thank you for joining me in letting your love light shine. Sometimes I tell my children in the classroom that I can see their love light shining in their eyes. And it's true. Your love fills up inside of you, and when you are happy and you're feeling loved and like loving others, it comes out in your eyes and it comes out in your smile, and other people can see it and it makes their love light shine too. So I hope your love light is shining now. And I'd love to share a little bit about bees with you guys today. I've been noticing so many things outside that are changing because spring is on its way. And some of those things are flowers opening up. I wonder if you guys might have some flowers right outside your window or on a walk that you take sometimes. And as it starts to warm up, we're going to start seeing some bees. And the bees are going to be pollinating those flowers and buzzing around. And I know that some kids get worried about bees. Oftentimes, if there's any kind of bug in our classroom, especially one that's flying, children want to know if that's a bee. And they get a little bit startled because most of us know that bees can sting us and that hurts and that nobody likes getting hurt. But I've been learning a lot about bees recently, and I learned that bees do not want to sting you. If a bee is stinging you, it's because it's protecting itself or it's protecting its family and its hive. And that honeybees, which is the kind of bee we're going to talk about today, actually die when they sting somebody. So if they sting a person or a dog or a bear that's coming too close to their hive, they actually die. And they do that in order to protect their family. But they don't want to sting you. And some bees don't sting. There are lots of species of bees that don't sting at all. And there are other kinds of bees that don't sting unless they absolutely have to. So I have drawn a picture of a bee, and I wanted to share that with you. This bee is way bigger than any bee that we would ever see, but I drew it nice and big so that we could look at it together and learn some things about it. So this is what a honeybee looks like if we look at it really up close. And actually, if we look super up close, they actually have all these tiny little hairs all over their legs too, and those hairs will help them to collect pollen as they come from flower to flower. And they bring that pollen to their hive where they use it to make honey, which supports their family. But today, I thought that we would talk about the parts of a bee, and I bet that there are many parts on this bee that you guys already know. So if you are at home, you can say the names out loud with me if you know what they are. And I'm going to write them down as we go. So the first part of the bee that I wanted to talk about are these two things that they use to fly. What are they called? They're wings. Those are the bee's wings. So I'm going to write wings. The bee's wings help them to fly very fast all over from flower to flower and back to their hive. And then, like all insects, bees have 6 what? Let's see how many legs they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 legs. All insects have 6 legs, and bees are just the same. Here are their legs. They use those to walk around. They also use them to dance. Bees can talk through dancing, so they use those for that. How about these two big things up on their head up here? Those are their eyes. Bees have very special eyes called compound eyes. Compound eyes means that even though it looks like they only have 2 eyes, each of these eyes is made up of a bunch of tiny little eyes all together that helps them see all the different patterns and things on flowers and tell where things are. So there are their special eyes. What else does a bee have on its head? Some of you might know what these are called. These are a bee's antennae. And the bee's antennae help them in communicating with other bees too. If a bee gathered some nectar from a flower and brings it over to another bee, they'll use their antennae to touch one another and tell them things about where they may have found the flowers, and also to say hello or to beg for food. Sometimes a bee will come back from a flower and they'll need to give food to another bee, and that's one way they can ask for food is through their antenna. All right, now the bee also has some big body parts, and they share these body parts with a lot of different insects. So this middle part of their body where the wings and the first legs are attached, this is called their thorax. It's a fancy name for the middle part of their body, the middle section. And then this big part, the part that on honeybees and bumblebees we see have their stripes, this is called their abdomen. And humans have abdomens too. Our abdomen is the whole middle part of our body. It's called our abdomen. Abdomen is the biggest part of their body. So we'll write abdomen. And then the last part that I mentioned earlier that a lot of us think about when we think about bees is this little tiny part down here that the bees really don't use all that often. And what's that? It's their stinger. So we'll write stinger. And remember, bees don't want to sting you if they don't have to. And if we're able to give them space, we can watch them without getting hurt. So here are all the parts of the honeybee. And I made a similar drawing like this that I am sending along with this video so that you can print it out and you can color it. I also made one for friends who might want to practice their writing with their parents, and you can label the parts just like I did and practice writing down the parts of a honeybee. And maybe, if you're lucky, you might be able to spy some honeybees in your garden or on some of your walks, because I know some of them are starting to come out. All right, so before I end this video today, I did want to read you a little story. I have another bee book that I'll share with you in my next video, but this book I thought was nice because sometimes when we are spending a lot of time at home and our lives are a little bit different, we're not going to school and maybe we're not spending as much time at the park and things like that, it's nice to have a little bit of a new view on things, a new way of thinking about things. And this book is really helpful to me. One of my friends gave it to me for our classroom, and some of you may have seen it before. It is called Mindful Monkey, Happy Panda. And we're going to learn in this story that one of these animals learns a very valuable lesson about how to feel good when they're starting to feel nervous about things. This book is written by Lauren Alderfer, and the illustrations are by Carrie Lee McLean. One late afternoon, as Monkey was walking home from a long day at school, Monkey came across a panda serenely sitting in a thicket of bamboo. "You always seem so happy and peaceful," said Monkey. "Yes, you could say that," said Panda with a little smile. "What do you do to stay so happy and peaceful?" "I walk, I work, I read, I eat, I play, and I rest," said Panda. "I walk, I work, I read, I eat, and I play too. But I'm not so happy," said Monkey. "That seems true," said Happy Panda. And as he looked as Monkey, he said, "So, Monkey, what do you think about when you're doing those things?" "Well," said Monkey, "when I walk, I also think about doing chores. And when I do chores, I also think about reading." I notice in this picture, he's doing his chores, but since he's distracted, it looks like he might be tripping on something and almost breaking those dishes. He's not focused, is he? "When I read, I also think about eating. And when I eat, I also think about playing." Uh-oh, what's he doing there, spilling his milk? "When I play, I also think about resting. And when I rest, I also think about walking." "Ah," said Happy Panda, "your monkey mind is jumping from one thing to another, always somewhere other than right here, to something other than what you're doing right now." "Well, of course it does," said Monkey. "Isn't that what everyone's mind does?" "Well," said Happy Panda, "when I walk, I'm just walking, not thinking about anything else. When I work, I'm just working." What does it look like Panda's job might be? Looks like he might be a doctor, huh? Looks like he's taking care of an animal. "When I read, I'm just reading." "When I eat, I'm just eating. Yum." "When I play, I'm just playing." And when I rest, I am just resting. True happiness, said Panda gently, comes from bringing all your attention to what you're doing right now. There's no need to think about what happened yesterday. Yesterday's gone and over and done. And there's no need to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow isn't here. But today is all around us. Bringing your mind back to this moment, right here, over and over and over again, is called mindfulness. Oh, I get it, said Monkey. Mindful, like your mind is full of the present, full of right now. That is definitely how I want to be. And at that very moment, Monkey started to practice mindfulness. And I see him on this page. Monkey and Panda are walking together, and you can see their little thought bubble. And what is he thinking about? He's just thinking about being right there, walking with his friend. And I think this is an important book for grown-ups and for kids because practicing mindfulness is a tricky thing to do. It's hard to not think about what might happen in a little while or what might happen tomorrow. But it feels very good, and it definitely makes your love light shine when you spend time just trying to be in the moment and just trying to think about what you're doing right now instead of spending time worrying. And it does take a lot of work, but we can practice it together. I'm so glad I got to share this video with you guys today. Thank you for joining me. I've attached some little coloring sheets, like I said, about the bee, so you can work on the parts of the bee with your family. And I'm also going to attach some bee cutting strips. In our classroom, cutting strips are really popular and children love to practice their cutting skills. So if you have some scissors at home, you can practice cutting with those. And I'm also going to attach a couple of links to some really cool bee videos and pictures that I found that I thought you guys might enjoy as well. So I hope you guys are all feeling happy, that your love lights are shining, and I wish you a good rest of the day, and I can't wait to send another video to you soon. Take care. Love you all.